You have repeatedly heard that Russia is interested in a stable, secure, peaceful, and prosperous South Caucasus. And one of the key conditions for achieving this is, of course, the long-awaited reconciliation between Baku and Yerevan. How much has our country done toward this goal? For example, with the direct assistance of Russia and personally President Vladimir Putin, a major stage of Armenian-Azerbaijani normalization was launched in 2020. As you may recall, a roadmap was developed across all strategic areas. It includes agreement on a peace treaty, the unblocking of transport and economic communications in the region, delimitation and demarcation of the state border, and the development of civil society contacts. At a certain point, Azerbaijan and Armenia opted for direct bilateral dialogue. We respect that choice. After all, we are talking about countries that must reach an agreement and coexist with one another as neighbors. Therefore, if they have found an opportunity for direct dialogue, yes, that is their decision. This means that much of what we discussed is working. At the same time, we have emphasized that we remain ready to provide our partners with any assistance they may require across the full spectrum of issues, including offering a platform for consultations or for signing agreements as part of establishing interstate relations between Azerbaijan and Armenia. That is, within the bilateral interaction format. If help is needed, it is available. We also supported the foreign ministers' negotiations held in Almaty in May 2024 and welcomed the recent bilateral contacts at the highest level in Abu Dhabi on July 10. Signals from Western capitals, in our view, must be seen in a different light. On the surface, everything may appear smooth, but as the saying goes, it is important to see the essence, and the essence is as follows. The information we are receiving leaves no doubt about the true motives behind the West's latest round of supposedly well-intentioned actions. They have a knack for presenting things well, but what lies behind is purely opportunistic, an attempt to extract the Armenian-Azerbaijani normalization process from its regional framework. This is a framework in which two South Caucasus countries are seeking a constructive, consensus-based resolution on their own, with the support of neighboring states with whom they must coexist, and which have repeatedly contributed to de-escalation and reconciliation: Russia, Iran, and Turkey. The West aims to steer the Baku-Yerevan reconciliation process onto its own track. And we know all too well where that track typically leads. It seems to be just another attempt to score political points and declare yet another diplomatic success allegedly achieved through their own efforts. In reality, such moves risk destabilizing the region's security architecture and undermining the principle of regional self-sufficiency, whereby pressing issues are addressed by the South Caucasus countries themselves and the immediate neighbors. There has never been, nor is there now, any justification for those who previously failed to demonstrate any real capacity to resolve crises to interfere in this situation. We are also witnessing Washington's attempts to meddle in the process of lifting the transport blockade in the region. The Americans, for example, claim to have, again, I quote them, a unique solution to the issue. In fact, they offer nothing new beyond what has already been proposed within the framework of the relevant trilateral working group co-chaired by the deputy prime ministers of Russia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. There is duplicity here as well. During the active engagement of this trilateral group in 2023, we were indeed close to a comprehensive solution that envisioned a phased unblocking of all transport routes and the development of a transport and logistics architecture in the South Caucasus that would benefit both Azerbaijan and Armenia, as well as their neighbors. Unfortunately, due to the West's destructive influence on the Armenian authorities' position, the group's work stalled. It is also worth recalling that the region's existing transportation system and infrastructure already comply with the norms and standards adopted across CIS countries. In the case of Armenia, this also involves the common customs space and the Eurasian Economic Union, something that should not be forgotten, especially given that the collective West is openly engaged in undermining these very organizations.